Nothing like a regular show next week. There may be something in the feed, I'm not sure, but not doing the regular macOS Ken next week. I'm taking some time off, which I do occasionally. Anyway, we got a lot of show today. What say we get to it?
This is macOS Ken.
Tim Cook talks voting rights, a few app stories, and Tim Cook marks a big day. It's Friday, the 2nd of April, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Headspace. Meditation made simple. Get a free 1-month trial at headspace.com/macOSCan. This show is also sponsored by Mint Mobile, cutting your wireless bill to as little as $15 a month. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. You won't see them in malls or strip malls, but you will see the difference in savings. A full year of Mint Mobile cost me less than 3 months with my old carrier for data that's just as fast, sound quality that's just as good, and coverage that has me covered. Okay, I pretend to hear you say, but how will it work for me? Well, finding out is risk-free. Mint Mobile comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee. Make some calls, stream some video, go some places. If you're not completely satisfied, return it within 7 days for a full refund. My guess? You'll be as happy as I am and start saving. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/macOSCan. That's MINT, mintmobile.com/macOSCan. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/macOSCan. We will begin and end the day with talk from Talkin' Tim, referring of course to Apple CEO Tim Cook. At the top, important words from the CEO coming out against the recent changes in voting laws enacted in the state of Georgia. Well, not coming out against the Georgia laws specifically. Rather, Cook's come out on making voting easier and more accessible. Seriously, though, it's a rebuke of the new Georgia legislation. According to a piece from Newsweek, the new law limits the number of mail ballot drop boxes in the state, lessens the time residents have to request an absentee ballot, requires residents to provide a photo ID when casting their mail-in ballot, and makes it a misdemeanor to give money or gifts, as well as food and drink, to voters while waiting in line. Against that backdrop, Axios got a statement from Apple's CEO, quoting that, "The right to vote is fundamental in a democracy. American history is the story of expanding the right to vote to all citizens, and black people in particular have had to march, struggle, and even give their lives for more than a century to defend that right." Apple believes that, thanks in part to the power of technology, it ought to be easier than ever for every eligible citizen to exercise their right to vote. We support efforts to ensure that our democracy's future is more hopeful and inclusive than its past. More signs that we're spending more in the App Store. I told you yesterday of global numbers from App Annie. Those had folks spending record amounts in Apple's App Store as well as the Google Play Store, both seeing revenue growth of 40% in the first quarter of 2021, with combined revenue of $32 billion. Now, a piece from TechCrunch has new data from Sensor Tower estimating how much iPhone and one assumes iPad users are spending on apps here in the States. According to Sensor Tower estimates, iPhone users in the U.S. spent an average of $138 on apps in 2020, a number the firm expects to see grow. It's kind of funny, but not. There was a piece I saw on Apple 3.0 that had Goldman Sachs analyst Rod Hall being so Rod Hall, I couldn't bring myself to bring you the report. Boiling it down, he still has a sell rating on Apple shares. That's partly because he sees App Store revenue taking a dive as the country reopens post-COVID-19. So he can't imagine Apple doing well, but he has no problem imagining things getting back to normal so fast it hurts Apple's bottom line. That's beyond imagining for Sensor Tower. They say the record app spend by consumers in 2020 was driven by the great hunker down. And guess what's going to drive growth in 2021? Quoting the report, Sensor Tower tells TechCrunch it expects the trend of increased consumer spend to continue in 2021 when it projects consumer spend per active iPhone in the U.S. to reach an average of $180. This will again be tied, at least in part, to the lift caused by the pandemic, and particularly the lift in pandemic-fueled spending on mobile games. Because, right, mobile games were the big winner in 2020. In the U.S., says TechCrunch, per-device spending on mobile games grew 43% year-over-year, from $53.80 in 2019 to $76.80 in 2020. Entertainment was second, with spending on streaming video on demand and the like up 26%. Consumers on average spent $10.20 on those in 2020. Photo and video, social networking, and lifestyle rounded out the top 5 categories, according to the report. It's not like we thought they weren't serious, but Apple's pretty serious about not letting iOS apps track their users. According to a piece from Apple Insider, the Cupertino company has started rejecting apps and updates to apps that use third-party SDK features for device fingerprinting. The rejections Apple's sending reportedly read, "Your app uses algorithmically converted device and usage data to create a unique identifier in order to track the user." The report centers on an SDK from Adjust. It's unclear whether the developers are trying to sidestep Apple's app tracking transparency rules, or it's just something built into the SDK. Whichever the case, it's apparently not flying with Apple. As expected, Apple on Thursday started showing state-approved apps to people setting up iPhones in Russia. According to a piece from Engadget, Russians have taken to social media to show what the regulation actually entails for iPhone users. As part of the iOS setup process, people in Russia are now being shown an additional step that directs them to the recommended list of software in the App Store. The piece says users don't have to download the apps to use their devices, though they can avoid having them suggested. What's unclear is how Apple got around local law on pre-installation. According to a new Russian law, devices such as smartphones, smart TVs, computers, and the like are supposed to have the apps installed before people buy them. According to Engadget, Android devices reportedly come with the software pre-installed. This displeases critics who say the mandatory app pre-installation could be used as a surveillance tool. One more from the App Store. MacRumor says Apple has updated its Support app. Spelled like it sounds, the piece says the Apple Support app is designed to provide an easy-to-use resource on the iPhone and iPad for getting help with hardware issues. Updated this week to version 4.2, MacRumor says the app's coverage section has added more information about benefits and service options. Additionally, users can now have reminders about service reservations sent to them by text or phone. That's true for both Genius Bar and Apple Authorized Service Provider appointments, according to the piece. The report says the app also supports a Check Coverage app clip. The Apple Support app is free. The updated version is available now in the App Store. Speaking of service, Apple's on the hook for a problem with a series of MacBooks, specifically MacBook Pros produced from 2016 to 2017. iMore and others refer to the issue as Flexgate because it can't be an issue without a gate attached. According to iMore, Apple's 2016 and 2017 MacBook Pro machines suffered from an issue that saw backlights fail towards the bottom of their screens. The issue was ultimately identified to be caused by a fragile flex cable that broke following repeated opening and closing of the notebook. Fraying cables caused backlights to fail, people discovered. Taking place on planet Earth, the issue did, of course, lead to a lawsuit. Now, the judge in the case has sided with the plaintiffs. iMore quotes a report from Law 360 saying the court finds that the allegations of pre-release testing, in combination with the allegations of substantial customer complaints, are sufficient to show that Apple had exclusive knowledge of the alleged defect, the judge wrote in his opinion. While that sounds like it should be the end, it doesn't even seem to be the middle. A separate piece on the issue from Mac Rumors says the judge's decision simply means the case can move forward. For its part, Apple says his Honor's determination is incorrect. There's a growing chasm between supply and demand where chips are concerned, and TSMC is spending big to close it. iDownload blog says Apple's Apple Silicon partner plans to invest $100 billion between now and 2024 to increase its chip production. That appears to include $28 billion the company has already planned to spend this year, an amount drawn up in the before times. The piece quotes a statement from TSMC, picked up by Bloomberg. In order to keep up with demand, reads the statement, TSMC expects to invest $100 billion over the next 3 years to increase capacity to support the manufacturing and research and development of advanced semiconductor technologies. TSMC is working closely with our customers to address their needs in a sustainable manner. That same piece had TSMC CEO C.C. Wei telling his customers, TSMC is entering a period of higher growth as the multi-year megatrends of 5G and high-performance computing are expected to fuel strong demand for our semiconductor technologies in the next several years. More news in a moment, but first a word from Headspace. Meditation made simple. Headspace makes it easy for you to build a life-changing meditation practice with mindfulness that works for you on your schedule, anytime, anywhere. They have a great app that's easy to explore and take wherever you go. You might not think of meditation as a go places and do stuff thing, but it can be. They have workout meditations, music with a mindfulness focus, walking meditations, programs of various lengths, all kinds of stuff. Now, while it is great to have all of that available, what's really great is learning how to be more mindful on your own. The practices I've picked up from Headspace are skills I can use throughout the day. Headspace is backed by 25 published studies on its benefits, 600,000 five-star reviews, and over 60 million downloads. You deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/macOSken. That's headspace.com/macOSken for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every situation. This is the best deal offered right now. Head to headspace.com/macOSken today. What do Representative Ken Buck and Senator Mike Lee have in common? They're both looking for sound bites. Apple Insider says the Republican representative from Colorado and the Republican senator from Utah have written to Amazon, Apple, and Google asking them why for they take down Parler. As a reminder, Apple Insider says Apple pulled Parler from the App Store on complaints that it was used to plan, coordinate, and facilitate the January 6th storming of the U.S. Capitol. Google soon followed suit, and Amazon Web Services also purged the social media site. In their letter to the companies, Buck and Lee said, "The timing of steps taken against the Parler social network by your companies, and that the actions seem to lack any of the procedural fairness typically afforded in the case of an alleged breach of contract, create the appearance of close coordination." Right. It took Apple, 6 hours maybe to pull Fortnite off the App Store when Epic breached its contract? Anywho, the Republican lawmakers requested that Apple, Amazon, and Google issue a response no later than the 15th of April, according to the report. If you're a cardiologist looking for a new gig, want to jam at Apple Park? 9 to 5 Mac says the Cupertino peeps are looking for someone to work on some things. Clinical specialist would be your title. According to a job posting on LinkedIn, as a clinical specialist, you play an integral role working with engineering and design teams on clinical product development. Your key responsibilities include helping to define clinical feature definitions and specifications in order to create innovative product features aimed at impacting heart health. For regulated features, you play a key role in clinical study design and protocol development for regulatory submissions. It's hard to believe there are many people fit for that purpose. As of this writing, 15 people have applied. I say if you really want the job, take them out, get them drunk, buy them pizza maybe, or hot wings. And finally today, I said we would begin and end the day with talk from Talkin' Tim. So let us revisit the corner office. See, it's funny because his office building is round. Anyway, yesterday, the 1st of April 2021, marked the 45th anniversary of the founding of Apple. Funny story. I interviewed Woz once and he said he didn't know where that date came from. Still, it's the day. Mac Rumors says Apple CEO Tim Cook marked the day publicly on Twitter. Quoting his tweet, "As Apple celebrates 45 years today, I'm reminded of Steve's words from many years ago. It's been an amazing journey so far, yet we have barely begun. Thanks to every member of our Apple family for all you've done to enrich lives. Here's to the next 45 years and beyond." That is how he marked the day publicly, though he also marked it semi-publicly. A separate piece from Mac Rumors had Cook sending a memo to employees. In the memo, he wrote about the fateful founding 45 years earlier. He wrote about groundbreaking products of today, such as 5G iPhones, M1 Macs, Apple Watch, and more. Then he hit the inspiration button. Quoting the memo, "What I can tell you with gut certainty is that there has never been a moment of such great potential as this one, nor have we ever had so talented and dedicated a team. That shouldn't make us rest easy. Great potential obligates great people to meet it. I know this past year has tested each of us in ways that we never imagined. It has asked all of us to adapt. It's added complexity to our work, and it has demanded additional resolve and commitment in areas of our lives that extend well beyond our work. But I also know that what we have each achieved during this time should make us enormously proud. Through a once-in-a-generation challenge, the things we make and the ways in which we make them have revealed profound and durable new sources of value to the people who love and count on them. And, on many fronts, we know even brighter days are ahead." In an email like this one to mark a much earlier anniversary, shortly after I joined Apple, Cook continues, Steve said, "It's been an amazing journey so far, yet we have barely begun." Still true. Remember that none of us will be here for the end of the story, but it's on all of us to make sure it's one worth telling. Coming up, in a few minutes, his one superpower, his favorite comedian, a magical place. Brian Chaffin, editor-in-chief of the Mac Observer, spins the wheel of stuff. The show is called In a Few Minutes. Find it and follow it wherever you find and follow podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Mint Mobile. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Headspace, meditation made simple. Get a free 1-month trial at headspace.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.